Welcome back to another video from Design School. Today we are going to be talking about adding weeding lines to your design. If you've never heard about weeding lines, basically all it is we are going to add lines that cut through these tiny letters, allowing you to weed your design easier. Whenever you cut this design on your mat and you go to weed it all in one piece, a lot of times you end up pulling up these fine curves or losing dots or centers. So when we add the weeding lines, it will help you to avoid this problem. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is open up your Silhouette program and either open your design or create your own design by using your text box. Once you have your design on the mat where you want it to go, we're going to go over here to our line tool and hold down Shift and draw a line straight across your design. It can be anywhere. We'll adjust these lines in just a moment. Now, if you don't hold down the Shift key and you're trying to draw a line, it will drag whichever way and end up crooked. But when you hold Shift, it automatically brings the line straight and level. Okay, once we have our line drawn, we're going to select the line, go up here to the top and hit the replicate window. We have basic options. If you only need a few lines, you can tell it to do a column of 4 or fill the page. We're going to go in our advanced options and let's do about 6 to 7 lines and go to custom position. On the Y offset, let's change this to 1.5 inches. And what that'll do is kind of evenly space out the lines that we're going to use. Okay, once we have our lines done, we're going to take our design and we're going to look at where we have our weeded areas that we're going to be pulling out. So sometimes the lines will cut into, okay, let's see, this E right here is a perfect example. Where this line is on the E, actually it runs right through, so it'll be okay. But if it were sitting like right here, you're going to have a little tiny spot that you're going to have to weed out of this E. So you would want to adjust where your line is sitting. If that were to happen, you just look at everywhere that line runs through and you're just going to pull it and make sure it's not sitting to where it's going to leave you a very tiny piece to weed. We want to make this easier for you and not harder. So we're just going through and adjusting our lines to make sure that we have good spot. Like that is at the bottom of the H, so we'll just pull that up just a bit. And this one we don't need. Okay, after we have our lines where we want them, we're going to take our design and pull it off the mat. And we are going to draw a rectangle. Just click and draw around your lines. And then you are going to select the rectangle and all the lines, right click, make a compound path, and now that's all one shape. We're going to take our words and pull it back on the lines. Once again, pay attention to where you place them because you moved all of your lines so that you didn't have any little spots to weed. So just take a look and make sure that they're still sitting correctly on your design. If everything looks well, let me move this just a bit. When I move this down, I don't need the top line, but we'll leave it there for now. Okay, if everything looks okay and you have your design exactly where you want it on your mat, now you're going to take your design and select it. Right click, hit copy. Right click, hit paste in front. When you hit paste in front, the one that you pasted in front is automatically selected. So with that selected, hold down Shift and select your lines as well. Now we have our copy and the lines both selected. Right click. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to go to Object, Modify, and Subtract. It'll take just a minute for it to think about it. But what this did was take our lines and instead of them running through our letters, it actually went and subtracted it. So now the silhouette will cut a straight line and then it will cut the letter, have a line in between. So when you go to weed now, rather than having one whole piece of vinyl and you trying to pull up on the corner and lose all these pieces, you have strips of vinyl that you'll be able to weed. Okay, now we're just going to go to our Send to Silhouette button and adjust the cut settings. Now make sure that cut is selected. You can tell by the fact that the red lines are showing that it will cut. And then we're going to hit vinyl and go ahead and adjust your machine for the settings that you need for the particular type of vinyl that you're cutting. Always run a test cut just to make sure. And if everything looks good on your test cut, then go ahead and send to Silhouettes.